Hi guys, I am with Victor and Joji. We are at Books and Beyond conference out in Las Vegas. This is the first one ever, and these are also the creators of BookMine, as you can see, repping the merch. Yes, sir. So I want to ask you guys a couple of questions. How'd you get the idea for Books and Beyond conference?
Okay, so we all met at Miami Sellers Conference 2024, and there's a lot of energy there. There's so many Amazon sellers, but very few of them, for whatever reason, are booksellers. And so Victor and I are looking around as being like some of the only booksellers, and we're like, dude, where's all the booksellers at? Like, aren't most sellers booksellers? So we said there needs to be a conference for booksellers. And so we got together with Avery, Roma the Romer, and Steve Rakin, and we said, hey, let's make it happen. And here we are, where we just finished.
We got a networking event that happened, and talked to Avery, and we made it happen. So, and we got to meet you there. Yeah. And it's been a fun ride since then.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the benefits of someone having your software over someone else's?
Okay. So there are a few other softwares. So just to give you a little bit of background, we do online book arbitrage, which is a very
What does online arbitrage mean?
Yeah. It essentially means that you buy in this case, a book online, in our case, Amazon, and then you resell it on Amazon.
Okay.
Which is really a crazy thought that you can do that, but what you have to understand is that there's a lot of books. There's like 100 million books. That's a huge number. And sometimes they get so undervalued relative to what they normally sell for that you could buy them and then resell them. And what's the example? Like, we use Coca-Cola as an example for what we do.
Right. So sometimes, just because people misprice things or by accident, prices on a particular book kind of drop in price substantially. And so what we do is we go and look for those opportunities, buy them at a cheap price, and then resell them for what they actually should be selling for.
Yeah. So the Coca-Cola example is like what's Coca-Cola worth? Like $1.50?
$1.50.
And how do we know it's worth $1.50?
Because people are buying it for $1.50.
Yeah, because we see like evidence of that. Like Marlena, I'm not sure if you ever bought a Coca-Cola, but like but a lot of people buy Coca-Cola for $1.50, right?
Yeah, right.
So like what we would do is see, okay, can we ever get the Coca-Cola for 60 cents? Because that would be a great deal.
Amazing deal.
Because who sells Coca-Cola for 60 cents? It always sells for
Nobody.
$1.50. So the same thing with books. Like, oh, this book sells for 30 to 40. Whoa, it's $10 now? Go buy that book and sell it for 30 or 40. That's the principle.
Okay, cool. So what is your guys' number one goal for BookMine and number one goal for Books and Beyond conference for next year?
You do BookMine.
I think it's almost the same for both of them. It's just to help people grow. Like how people take what, maybe a few sales to a few hundred sales, or if somebody's in a few hundred sales to get them to a couple of thousand sales, actually in units of books. And so we're in a teaching mode. We want to help out people through like education. Yeah. And so we do that with both BookMine and with this conference.
And could you share real quick your average profit that you will get for a book that you sell off of BookMine?
So most of my books have been sourced from BookMine. So I'd say my average profit is about $16 a book.
Okay.
But it can be much higher if you really wanted. If you really wanted to be picky, you could get I only want to profit off books that are say $30 a book or something. You can make that happen with BookMine, which I just chose to make it as simple as possible. So right now that's $16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And to piggyback off your initial statement, Victor, about what's the goal of BookMine? What's the goal of the book conference? It's to help people get to the next level. And so in the beginning, when you have no money, no capital, the goal is just to build money, build capital, right? There's it's a series of stages, right? And the next stage is, okay, can we start building enough capital where we have a little bit of income that helps our life out? Like, you might be doing another job. Can we get a little extra income on the side to make our life a little bit better? Okay, and then once you reach that, then you go to the next level. Okay, can we start making substantially more money to the point where maybe it's making such a significant impact that you might be able to replace what you're doing now, which you may not like. And once you get to that stage, the next step is, can we start taking some of that income and start investing it in, let's say, the S&P 500, the stock market, to start growing your net worth, and then eventually get to a point where maybe much, much earlier in your life, before 65, you could become financially independent and then buy back your time and then do things that you want to do. So both Victor and I, we both are financially independent, which means that we only do what we want to do. We're really not motivated by money. We don't need money anymore. And so the goal is just, we want people, we're going to meet them where they're at, and help them get to the next stage. So we're not going to say someone who has no money, we're not going to say, hey, we're going to help you become financially independent. We're just going to go step by step.
Okay.
We just try to give away as much information and as much books and book leads as possible to try to help out other people.
Yeah.
Okay. And guys, keep in mind, I make a little bit over $3,000 a month selling books that my average profit is $3.50 to $4. So $16 a book.
Yeah.
Listen, that is great.
Yep.
But what are your guys' number one goal for this conference for next year, 2025?
Okay. For me, it's to really just see almost like the same people and just have seen growth for them. Like nothing would make me happy personally than seeing this, like literally the same people saying, I did 20K this year or 20K last year, now I did 80K. It's because they put in the work and they took the action. So for me, it's just growth. Not necessarily like we need more people, but growth for the people who came.
Yeah. For me, it's I want to help out the people who came to thrive. So right now, I think we're all here and we're kind of became a group. But next year, like I want to see that same group thriving and actually then from there help those people start helping other people and making this a much larger book community. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you guys. Please don't leave me hanging.
Oh,
I thought this is like a cool
I was like,
no,
I
not
thought
that.
maybe
Yeah,
like,
Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
No, I'm not like that. But,
All right.
all right,
Thanks so much.
guys.
Appreciate the interview.
Thank you.
For sure.